Hi guys, welcome back to the Bus Banter. Once again, I'm Jacob Bussey, and I have a trade to announce. Obviously, I'm not announcing it. I'm just forwarding the information. The Leafs have just traded a third rounder 2022 pick for a goaltender, David Rittick of the Calgary Flames. I love this deal so much. Leafs finally have a 50-50 duo. This is what I've been saying for so long. They need to have a duo of 50 games, or 41 games, 41 games. They're going to split the season between Jack and Rittick now. Hutchinson will now be the third string. He will no longer be the backup. And now you have a secure duo in net that could take you to the playoffs. Oh, I am so happy. I just found out about this news like 5 minutes ago. I am ecstatic. I am so happy to be I'm so happy Dave Rittick's here. He's a 4-7-1 record so far this season with a .910 save percentage, but like 2 or 3 of those wins came against the Leafs. And oh my God, that name, Dave Rittick, was like haunting for a Leaf fan for like a long stretch of the season. And now he's coming here. Why I like this trade. This secures a backup position, and this secures a good duo. No disrespect to Hutchinson, but he just wasn't going to be the guy. He'll go on the taxi squad just in case either Jack or now Dave get injured. So that's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be Dave and Jack that's going to split. From here on out, Jack's probably going to run with the playoffs, and then Dave's probably going to be the backup. Which brings me to our next point, which is where will Frederik Andersen land? He's currently on the LTIR, has been there for a couple of weeks now with a lower body injury. Where is he going? Is Dubas going to make another trade so that they are able to get something out of Frederik Andersen? Like I said earlier in my video when I talked about Nick Foligno, Andersen was not the answer. He wasn't. 0-9 in elimination games. He's below 900 save percentage and about almost out of 3 goals against average. So you send out Freddie or you let him walk at the end of the season, whichever one you're going to do. And now you have a duo that's going to be really, really good for the next few years. Jack will probably get more games, if not split the season with Rittick, because Rittick is a backup technically. He was in Calgary to Jacob Markstrom. Now it brings up the question of is Calgary going to go out and grab somebody? Like I'm so shocked over this. I think Dubas is almost done with his trades. I've been preaching to a Zoom call I took earlier today with a bunch of guys over a podcast. I said the Leafs need to get a goaltender, and they got a goaltender. So which is it's great. I'm lost for words. I'm very excited because for the first time in a long time, I feel like our goaltending just solidified. And I don't want to take anything from Andersen. He's been great since he was here. He's been nothing but great. He's taken us to the playoffs every single year, but he's just not doing it this year. And being injured is just hurting his case even more. So move on from Andersen. Hutchinson goes to the taxi squad. You have Dave and Jack as your duo in goaltending. Dave Rittick doesn't have to do any quarantining because he's a part of the North Division, so he can just come on over to Toronto. He'll probably be there tonight, or no, not tomorrow. It's not tomorrow yet. He'll probably be there tomorrow when they play the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. So he's probably going to fly out to Montreal now. And yeah, like I'm very excited about this trade. I think the Leafs won this one for a third rounder 2022 NHL draft pick. Don't know who it is, but it's a third rounder. So I'm surprised that they got Rittick for so cheap. I really am. You think Rittick had some really strong starts this season, even against the Leafs, and now they're just gonna move on from him with a third round pick. Like, this is great for Toronto. I think this is an absolute steal of a deal for the Leafs. They're gonna take on his contract, obviously the full 100% of it, not on a very big contract. So what the Leafs need to do now is they need to be able to work with this. They need to be able to not develop him, but they need to be able to understand his strengths and weaknesses and use that to his advantage. I will assume that he will get a start very soon because Campbell is kind of looking tired. No disrespect to Campbell, obviously the goaltender right now, and I think this is where Dubas' mindset is. He knows Jack is the goaltender. He knows he's going to take him to the playoffs. There's no doubt there. He just needs someone to make some insurance. And Hutchinson wasn't insurance. Hutchinson was just there because he had to be. Now you have Rittick, a guy who's played with Calgary his entire career. He's coming over to Toronto, and hopefully he's going to play lights out against teams that we've kind of had struggles against. The Senators, we've had some troubles against the Flames, we have some troubles against the Canadiens. So what the Leafs will have to do is, if there's going to be another trade for Dubas, which I assume there will be, because Dubas has been talking a lot with a lot of teams, is he needs to get a top 4 defenseman. A guy like Matthias Ekholm is on the market. He's going to have to give up quite a bit for him, but if the Leafs get a defenseman, if they can just get one more top 4 defenseman, they, in my opinion, have now solidified themselves as a contender. I'm happy with this deal. I'm happy with this trade. And I'm happy that Dubas was able to figure out a problem that the Leafs have been dealing with so long, is backup goaltending. Do I think Jack Campbell will be the starter? 100%. I think Frederik Andersen needs to. I think we're going to move on from Frederik Andersen, and I think we're going to move to Jack and Rittich duo. Now, what's this going to do for Freddie? Like, is he going to be healthy enough to join another team by the end of the season? Like, they'll Dubas trade him by 3 o'clock tomorrow? I don't know. I do want him to go over to a different team and maybe have a little bit more success. Maybe, it happens a lot with goaltenders. It happened with James Reimer. It happened with Jonathan Bernier. Is when they get on a losing streak, myself included, the fans tend to push them out a little bit. Happened to James Reimer. Bernier, happened to Ray Croft. Granted, he played pretty terribly, for those of you who remember. But my point is, it happened to Hutchinson last year. You saw what happened there. He got outed, and then he was on like 4 different teams in the span of 3 months. So, to wrap it up, for those of you who didn't join in at the beginning, the Leafs have acquired Dave Rittich from the Calgary Flames, goaltender, for a third round's 2022 overall pick, or I guess a 2022 third overall pick in the NHL draft. My opinions have been the same. Big deal, big steal, and we just got to make sure that he's able to stay healthy. And the Jack Dave combo is going to be rolling pretty on in the game in the season. So for those who have joined, thank you so much. Leave a like and comment. Tell your friends, tell your family. I have to try to get every video out as soon as I can. Otherwise, stay safe. And until next time, this has been Jacob Bussey on the Bussey Banter.